What's up, everybody? YL with Blockchain Academics. Today, we're going to focus on Bitcoin specifically. Is Bitcoin going to break 10 grand? Everybody thinks that we are in for a dump, and we're going to take a look at Bitcoin, and we're going to look at it in multiple different ways. Let's start out with the monthly. What I think, I'm going to just post this in the Discord, actually, so people in the group can tune along. So if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and if you want to see any other coins, any other assets, in some TA on them, let me know. We did XRP yesterday, so if you want to go check out XRP, you can watch that in the videos. So let's get right into it. Bitcoin right now, it's moving. It's not on a tear, but it's moving. So let's check out the weekly. Let's check out the hour so you guys can see what Bitcoin has been doing for you guys that haven't, been paying attention. So on the hour, we just got the golden cross on the 50 and the 200 EMA. And you can see Bitcoin's just moving up right now. And are we going to break 10K? That is the big question. And if we break 10K, where are we headed next? So let's get back to the monthly. I like to look at bigger time frames and then kind of look at the overall trend, and then I'll work my way down. So the bigger time frame looks like right here, we broke this top. We need to see if we can kind of hold over it. So the price needs to hold, and this monthly candle ends in 3 days in 8 hours. So if we can kind of break over this, and if the price can kind of just move, I'd say this is very bullish. Let's get the TD sequential. We don't have that on here. Odd. So let's get that on there. You can see that after we have the 2 green over the 1, so as you see here, it kind of started this uptrend, and people take that as a buying signal. So on the monthly, we've had the rejection for COVID. We get all of that retraced and some more, and now the 2 kind of breaking this resistance. So in 3 days, if we can create a candle above this, it'll look like we just broke this top. So what I'm looking for this monthly candle to actually do is to come up about this far. So you can see here that we've broken this top right here. And now that it looks like we're kind of making a double top here. Double top necessarily doesn't need to go to the price. It can be close to it. So it will create like a double top, kind of like an M in my opinion. And then this is where we'll get a lot of short. This is where, this is where it all stands for Bitcoin. Is this going to be like a top for Bitcoin? Is it going to be a lower high here? And I'll show you what I mean by a lower high. Because like I said, we go to the bigger monthly time scale to determine the larger time frame. Like, this is a downtrend, lower lows, lower highs. So this is what I think is going to happen on the monthly. You can see it'll create like a double top, and maybe this will entice, this is a bullish outlook, and maybe this will entice a lot of shorters to get in because it looks like it could just definitely move into a downward movement, especially with the world state of the world we're in right now. Maybe a wave 2 of COVID happens, and then this would be a very profitable short, and markets fall 3 times quicker than they climb. So, it would be very profitable, and I can see market makers kind of like right now it looks super short. Everybody doesn't think we're going to break 9K, 9.3K. So keep that in mind on the month. Double top. Let's work our way down. 2 week. This doji. This kind of just continued this candle right here. And you can see that I just wanted to see the low price on this, which was 81.60. So if we hold 81.60, we're way above that 2 week low right now. So this is good. Another 10 days. Now I'm going to go to the week, and this is where I wanted to start throwing up some resistance. So what I was looking on the month, you can see these were just wicks. So now this may be more evident to you that we are in a downward channel. As you can see, my lines aren't going to be perfect. I don't really care to make them perfect right now because I'm not taking any entries. So you can see we're in like this downward channel, and more recently, you can see it more evidently. We're in this downward channel, and this looks like the perfect top for Bitcoin to kind of to a lower high, because you can see here the high was put here, high was put here, lower high, lower low, lower low. So are we just going to put in another lower low? Are we going to get rejected here? Or are we going to break above? So let's take a look. This trend line that we broke above here, I put some weight to it because you can see a lot of, thrust, tried to break above, got rejected heavily, got rejected heavily, got rejected heavily. Then we finally broke above it. And why I'm showing you this is I was taking note the whole climb above, and I thought definitely we're going to test the 550 EMA. Not only did we test it, we broke right through it. Didn't even get the retest, so people didn't get to that entry to buy back in on the weekly. We tested the 50. And if you bought here, you most likely got stopped out or were in a heavy drawdown. If you held all the way through or didn't use the stop, you just got stopped out right there on the 200 EMA on the weekly. So why I'm showing you this is because now I'm going to use my Fibonacci point from here, because this is where I feel the momentum picked up. Like we broke this resistance. You can see it was used as proper support. We broke it. So I'm going to take the fib and I'll do it right here. So you can see how we retraced. We hit this top. This is like the $10,000 mark, which is super. I think it's like a super strong resistance spot for us. 5-digit. Breaking the 4-digit into 5-digit psychology, the 10,000 even number, and I think it's going to be a really big deal for us to break it again, especially since we've tested it almost 3 times now. So I took the Fibonacci from here to the top. You can see how it came back perfectly to the 38.2 mark, and it's just kind of holding here very perfectly. So these would be my this would be my resistance right here. This mark right here, which would be, if we take the high of the candle, 9979, and this one 9970. So basically 9970. Right in the middle of that, 9970. I'm not going to get it perfect, so that is fine with me right here. Maybe I'll adjust that. Whatever, closer to 10,000 is what I'm thinking. And then this is the other high I'm thinking as well. And you can see here, rejected, and you can see here as well. So these are the 2 areas that I am watching closely. If Bitcoin can just keep going and bust through these 2, and these would be my next areas of take profit, like where I think Bitcoin would be going. It's been going on a pretty strong run right now. I wouldn't know how to put, we could do it like this, And I do expect, so I'm going to know very soon which way Bitcoin it's going to be heading, So the moving averages, you can see on the weekly, they were starting to come down. And you're going to think, are we going to get that death cross? But now there's a slightly elevated, this one so slightly, and this one you can just see it moving up. So it's looking like we are going to be moving up. Strong weekly candles. I did want to point out the TD sequential here. We have the 8. We're looking for like a perfected, like a 9 sub. So with the 8, this ends in the next 3 days. So powerful close on the weekly and the monthly. And I'm going to watch how the weekly and monthly close out, because the 8 candle or the 9 candle, which would be the next following week, if we were going to get a sell on it, the 8 needs to be higher than these candles. The 8 or 9 need to be the highest in price. So I'm expecting 8 to make a push here, or early next week. We get that 9 candle, which is going to be very impulsive, and it can be very impulsive on either way. So this is kind of like a make or break situation for Bitcoin. These are the resistance areas I'm looking to break. You can see like this is a ton of indecision here. We tried to break up here and we got rejected. The whole move got rejected, and now we see a retrace. At first it was a small retrace, and I thought maybe this is the lower high, and a move like this, a candle like this, you can see a candle up to a retracement candle up to 50% or less. But now this is this might even engulf this candle and do something very impulsive. So that's on the weekly. I'm going to turn on the MSR, and we're going to take a look at some signals as well. So let's take a look. I'm not going to work my way down through the dailies. I'm more interested on the weekly and the monthly. So the signals I'm taking on are the 4-hour. I know the 4-hour has been long since 7,300. I re-entered here. You could re-enter here, re-entry here. Beautiful re-entries here. And these were beautiful re-entries, which my 3-minute time frame lined up on as well. So I know I said we're going to do some live trading together, and that we're going to be going through these signals and taking some, stacking some sats together, because this is super powerful. 4-hour, 1 hour has been long for it's short now. 1 hour short. What? So this, honestly, following the system, this is where you would be taking like a double down short right here, stop loss rate. Depending on where your adjusted risk is, you're putting your stop loss here. But you can see I don't trade the 4-hour on it, the 1 hour, 4-hour, 15-minute. So the 15-minute, definitely probably making some really great calls from this run up right here. All the way up to 9,000, and you get some short plays in too. And then the 3-minute is what I trade on the daily. And I definitely need to change the setting up, or no, I just need to zoom out. That looked like a ton of signals all at once. So we caught the long around 8,800, and the 4-hour long was in the 7,000s. We caught this long. This was around 11 p.m. I remember I closed it, to be honest, because I was going to bed. There was a ton of entry space for re-entry here, a ton of space to re-enter here. I remember when the price was just kind of sitting here, and this is where you double down. And since you entered here, you have room for drawdown, but you wouldn't allow that because this is where your stop would be. And then you could watch it break down, and you'd probably get a no trend and no, and then a bear trend, and you wouldn't be long at that point. And then you get another long entry right here, which Bitcoin's just pushing. So that's my quick video on Bitcoin and where I think it's headed. I think Bitcoin needs to break 10,000. I think it's going to go and test it. And if we don't test it and we just make a lower high here, then I'm looking at 5K, 6K, potentially even 4K as the lower low on the bigger time frame, on the monthly, on the weekly. So very important to keep watch. I'm going to keep you guys updated with the positions on MSR. Right now we've been 4-hour long, and the 4 hour signals have been working like magic. This 4-hour long, you'd be long here, and you went short at 8,800 when the pre-COVID dump. You went short here, and this is a beautiful re-entry. I just remember this. This is a beautiful re-entry spot, and nobody would have thought it dumped this hard, but you got lucky. You don't get lucky unless you're playing the game, right? So dumped very, impulsively, and now it's long. And I'm waiting to see if we can break these areas. And then if we do, Bitcoin will be pushing. We had those marks at 12,000 and $11,000, 12,300. And actually, let's see where the targets were actually, just to make sure. Yeah. So about 12,300 and 11,000 were the next targets for Bitcoin. So that's pretty much it for me today. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment. We got a ton of opportunities, gifts, and giveaways and things, and we're coming at you guys daily. So make sure to enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.